In a small, humble home, a young woman named Thokozani sits on a worn-out couch, her face etched with worry. She looks at her mother, who is always a pillar of strength, even in their hardest times. As she sits there, her mind drifts to thoughts of her grandmother. Her grandmother used to tell her stories about how, in her youth, marriage was the ultimate goal for a woman. Thokozani's thoughts twist and turn, grappling with the pressures and expectations that linger from her grandmother's time. She thinks about marriage not as a romantic ideal, but as a potential escape from the uncertainty of her job search. But deep down, she knows that getting married to solve her problems isn't the answer. Her grandmother's motivation should not be hers. She fears the trap of an unhappy marriage, the feeling of being stuck if things don't work out, knowing that people change as they age. With a deep breath, she pushes those thoughts aside and turns to her mother for solace. "Mama, it's been months since I graduated. I've applied everywhere, but no one is hiring." Her mother reaches out, squeezing Thokozani's hand with a reassuring grip. Her eyes, filled with love and wisdom, meet her daughter's. "Patience, my child. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is success. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into months." Thokozani persists, filling out countless job applications, attending interviews, and facing rejection after rejection. Each rejection feels like a heavy blow, but she continues to push forward, driven by inner strength and determination. "I know it's hard, my dear, but every challenge you face builds your character and strength." Late into the night, Thokozani studies diligently, her eyes tired but her spirit unwavering. Her mother watches her with a mixture of pride and sorrow, knowing the road to success is never easy. "You have a fire within you, Thokozani, a fire that will one day light up the path to your dreams." One day, as she sits by the phone, it rings. Thokozani answers, and her face lights up with a mixture of joy and relief. She runs to her mother, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, I got the job." Her mother embraces her, tears of joy mingling with her own. The hardships, the late nights, the countless rejections, all of it fades away in this moment of triumph. "I knew you would, my child. I always believed in you." As the weeks passed, Thokozani settled into her new job. The initial excitement gave way to the realities and challenges of the workplace. But each day, as she navigated through her tasks, she carried with her the lessons of patience and perseverance instilled by her mother. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day, Thokozani sat alone in her room, reflecting on her journey. She remembered her grandmother's stories and the societal pressures to marry early. She thought about her own dreams and aspirations, and how easy it would be to lose herself in the expectations of others. Marriage should be a choice made from love and partnership, not an escape from hardships or societal pressure. "I want to build a future where my happiness and my partner's happiness are equally important." The next day, Thokozani decided to visit her grandmother. She needed to share her thoughts and seek her wisdom. As she arrived at her grandmother's house, the familiar scent of home-cooked meals greeted her. Her grandmother, now frail but still sharp and insightful, welcomed her with open arms. "Thokozani, my child, it's so good to see you." They sat together sipping tea, and Thokozani poured out her heart. She spoke of her fears, her dreams, and the internal conflict she felt about marriage and career. "Grandmother, I respect your experiences and the path you took, but I want something different. I want to find happiness within myself before I share it with someone else." "Thokozani, times were different when I was young. We often married out of necessity and duty. But you, my dear, have the chance to create your own path. Marriage should not be a trap, but a mutual journey of growth and love." Her grandmother's words gave Thokozani a newfound sense of clarity and purpose. She realized that while respect for tradition is important, it's equally vital to forge a path that aligns with one's values and aspirations. Back at work, Thokozani faced new challenges. There were days when she felt overwhelmed and questioned her abilities, but the support from her mother and the wisdom from her grandmother served as a constant reminder of her strength and potential. One evening, as she worked late, her colleague James noticed her dedication. He approached her, offering a cup of coffee. "You're always the last one here, Thokozani. Your dedication is truly inspiring."